Howdy y'all, welcome back to the Black Sheep Meadow. Today we're going to discuss a little bit about firewood and how much we use here on the homestead. So this is our 6th year here at the homestead, Central Texas. And any given year we go through about 10 to 12 cords of split firewood. We have approximately 50% of our inside heat comes from a wood stove. We actually do that by choice. I prefer to heat off a wood stove, not just for cost reasons, but sustainability. We're out here pretty far away from town, so all of our propane in our big tank is delivered via truck. This year, you know, they're talking that might actually get quite expensive, whether you have it plumbed to your house or delivered and put in a tank here on your property. They're talking natural gas prices are going to get pretty pricey this winter, if you can even get it. So anyway, sustainability wise, we've chose to do firewood by choice. We cook up to probably about 5 nights a week, primarily spring and summer off of an open fire. If not in the wintertime, if the wood stove's going, I'll throw a cast iron pot or a skillet on it as well. So like I said, 10 to 12 cords of split firewood a year, not including all the trimmings and bark and little smaller branches. We go through quite a bit of wood here. So we're going to show y'all how we get this processed, how we get it cut down, how much work it actually is. One thing I want to mention too is the location where I split my firewood is very close to the house, the wood stove, and the open fire pit that we actually cook on. Primarily is how much work it is. You know, you don't want to split your wood real far away, have to pick it up 3 to 4 times. It's a tremendous amount of work. It'll put a strain on you. I'm not an open axe or a maul kind of guy where I'm going to go split wood by hand. Hydraulic power is where it's at. So we've got a grapple on the tractor. If y'all haven't seen the equipment video, go check that out. But the grapple on the tractor gets the big pieces, the big logs over here. We saw them all up and split them hydraulically. A few of the things I'd like to mention is, you know, you need a network, get with your neighbors. Most all of our trees and lumber come from, some of it comes from in town, near work. You know, if someone's got a tree going down, hey, go ask the tree company, hey, what are y'all going to do with that lumber? Stack it on a trailer for me, and it ends up here at the homestead. So we're going to get some wood split, show y'all how we get this done. And, you know, here we are in mid-September. You know, it's still awfully hot outside. I think it's 95 degrees still today. But we need to get prepared, get this wood split. This is a lot of live oak over here on this side. This is primarily, if y'all have never eaten a steak off of freshly split seasoned live oak, let me tell you what y'all are missing out. Something else I want to say, it's been brought to my attention. There's a fellow YouTuber that uses the same water jug as I do. This jug, it's actually a wine jug that I just ripped the label off of, and I install filtered water into it from our rainwater collection system. I guess great minds think alike. He's another homestead YouTube page out there, so see if you can go find him. Let's get some wood split. Alright guys, we made quick work of a lot of the logs that we had cut up here. I want to go over a few things. Our log splitter was a local unit from TSC. It's been a very good unit for us. I think we're 6 years in on it as well. 10 to 12 cords a year, so you know, we're talking well over 75 cords by now. One thing I'd like to mention, I'm a big USA, made in the USA guy. One of the things that caught my attention on this was the US steel beam and assembled in USA. Basically, all that being said, does not mean made in the USA. This was probably assembled, or I can tell you it's definitely all Chinese hydraulics. It's very irritating. But that being said, it has been a good unit for us. Going back to the equipment video, we talked about how, buy something that's local in your area. TSC, the place I purchased this from, is just no more than 10 miles up the road, and they have every one of these hydraulic fittings, every one of these valves, the pumps, everything in stock. So if I did have an issue with it, I'd be back up and running the next afternoon. So let's talk about this firewood. All right, so we have a couple different types of wood here. We have some elm, some live oak, and then I believe we had a chunk of pecan that actually seasoned or aged a little too fast on me. On most of our fire for our cook stove, our wood burning stove that's on the inside, I believe the internal length of that stove is something like 32 inches. That being said, a standard piece of firewood is something like 19 to 22 inches. If you're not sure, my particular bar, my small saw, is actually 20 inches. So if you're not sure while you're cutting the log, just lay the saw to the side and get a rough idea. If you're within 2.5 to 3 inches from 19 to 22, it's going to work out for you. So when it comes to heating in the winter months, the wood stove, we get about a good 4 hours after we get a good bed of coals rolling. Some of this lighter wood, like this elm, it's really light. There's nothing to it. We can actually start our fire, our coals, and get them going. If we get later into the night and I want to stay in the parlor where the wood stove's located, then I'll actually load it up with some heavier live oak. This live oak is super dense. It's going to burn for a long time. It's going to leave a good bed of coals. Let's say I fall asleep at, say, 10:30 at night. I'm good till 4:30 in the morning on this stuff. Off of our wood splitting, I'd like to mention too that we get a lot of trash and debris. There's like little wood chips and whatnot. If you go back to our container gardening video on how we build our containers, this is the stuff that we use to fill the bottom third of the tubs. If you haven't seen that video, scroll back and go check it out. I'd also like to mention the wood that's over here. This was a piece of pecan that actually seasoned or aged just a little too long on me, and it's actually really, really soft. It's going to smoke a lot more than these two pieces of wood, so to keep my chimney clean, we're going to refrain from using this inside the wood stove. Well, we're not going to cook with it, but we will use it on the open fire for those cold nights where everybody wants to sit around with the hot chocolate or we got friends over. The only downside to it is it's going to smoke a little more. So maybe one of those still chilly nights, like after a cold front blows in, the stars are way up high, big and bright. So that's what basically our wood processing, that's the whole process of it. So it's a lot of work to it. Like I said, if you can, try and minimize the work on yourself. I could be out here with an axe split and all this. I choose not to. Hydraulics are a very, very muscle and bone and joint friendly tool. Use the equipment as much as you can. Like I said, if y'all haven't seen the equipment video, go back and check it out. If y'all have any further questions as to how we do things here on the homestead, the past couple of videos here have all been things that people have asked me, hey, Brent, why don't you do a video on this? What about the equipment that you use? Go leave them down in the comments, contact us. Leave us a like, subscribe, ring the bell. Anything y'all need, we'll tell you how we do it here. In the meantime, we'll see y'all next week.